through the ministry of Peter, you have called me to carry that cross and to be blessed with that mission. And I know I can rely on each and every one of you to walk with me as we continue as a church, as a community of friends of Jesus, as believers, to announce the good news, to announce the gospel.
That was the new pontiff, Pope Leo XIV, giving his first Mass as the elected Holy Father. Many Catholics and Americans alike are still enjoying the fact that for the first time ever, the Pope is American. Joining us now for more is founder of the American Heroes Association, Cameron Moore, and CEO of Catholics for Catholics, John Yep. Cameron and John, thanks for joining. Cameron, with you first, the first American Pope. I don't think anybody saw this coming, but when you look at his background as someone who seems to transcend borders and for the last 2 years led the Vatican office that selects and oversees more than 5,000 bishops worldwide, starts to make a little bit more sense. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts, it's great. You know, we have a first American Pope. I'm not really looking at that. What I'm looking at is the mess that's been created in the Vatican. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy surrounding Pope Leo XIV, but we know we have a forgiving God and we have a loving God, and we know that God could use people, some of the least expecting people, to do His work. You know, we have to look at J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance was once a never Trumper. Now look where he's at. He's going to be one of the best vice presidents we've seen in our generation. And this Pope right now has an amazing opportunity to go one direction or the next. He can make good and take ownership for the previous administration in the Vatican. You know, take all these defrocked priests, you know, make them whole again, apologize on behalf of the church, and start trying to take ownership of the wrongs from our previous pope. And this pope's in a wonderful position to be able to expose some of this corruption, some of the money laundering at the Vatican. And I have a feeling that God is going to use him to do His work, and I have faith that this Pope is going to do the right thing. I'm not listening anymore to the dark side, because this guy's a chance to change history, to make history, and to make this Catholic Church whole again, which is desperately needed during this time.
Yeah, I think it is. I do. John, I know you are you're at the Vatican right now. What are your thoughts? What are you hearing? What are Catholics around there saying? Are they all excited for this new Pope Leo?
David Harris Jr., it's 3 a.m. We're at the Vatican. Let me just tell you, 24 hours ago, this entire square was run over with about 100,000 people that were just looking up in anticipation, waiting for their spiritual father to be returned. Self-admittedly, there are things in Leo XIV's past where it's been like, okay, he's butted heads with J.D. Vance on the border, and that needs to be worked out. And also, if he's on the wrong there, you and I, David, are going to bring that up to his attention, as we should. That's what St. Paul did to St. Peter, right, in Galatians. When the Pope is in the wrong, we need to respectfully bring those issues to the forefront. But we respect the office. Our Lord wanted it. And, you know, there's other things that he's been very strong at. For instance, the whole life issue. He's actually one of the biggest advocates for the unborn. Like, okay, that's a win. We'll take that, right? So all in all, initially there was a little bit of nervousness. First signs, his first homily today, you wouldn't believe it. Guess what he talked about? Jesus Christ. That's something he needs to stay on. He stays on that. That's a win for the church and win for Christendom.
Yes, that's what it should all be about. You know, I'm a Christian. I've never identified as a Catholic, but as a person of faith, I think it all boils down to Jesus. That's what it should all be about. And I love the fact that he is pro-life. That right there is the crux of the issue for a lot of us. Cameron Moore.
Absolutely.
John, thank you both so much for joining tonight.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, David.
Thanks, guys.